We see tremendous potential with our Chinese business, which we own 30% of, one of the leading job boards in China called Xiaopen. And we are very confident in the future of that business. So, we feel that it can perform the similar sort of role to that which SEEK performs in Australia, in terms of helping lots and lots of people find jobs and helping lots and lots of employers find employees, and playing a very important part of that matching. So that's the first opportunity for us in China, and we're very excited about that. And the second is we have some businesses in relation to training and education, which we also think will be important in the future in the Chinese market.
So Andrew, how did you enter the China market?
Yeah, we had two goes at it actually. We went in about 2000 and 2001, and I made a few trips to China. And to be honest, it all seemed quite hard that we understood the opportunity, but in terms of actually operating in that environment, it all seemed very hard in terms of even where we got the licenses and who we needed to speak to and which partners we needed. And we retreated for 2 or 3 years. We came back in about 2004, 2005 after watching the Chinese market a bit more closely. And feeling like we had the right model to push forward, and that model was very much that we had a lot that we thought we could add from our experiences in Australia, in our marketplace, which is obviously more mature than China. But we thought that we needed to do that very much by partnering with the local Chinese management team. So that was the model we pursued, and we were fortunate to find a very strong Chinese local management team in Xiaopen. The management team still owns some of the business, the original shareholders still own some of the business, and we own some of the business. So our role is very much to support them and provide them with capital to support them and assist them, but they very much run the business. And we think that's the right model in such a different market. Effectively, we operate through the Chinese management team in terms of how we operate, but it really is simply about doing what we do in Australia in terms of helping job seekers find employment opportunities, and helping advertisers find employees, and just playing a key role in that matching process. So really around both around providing a better service to job seekers and advertisers through better technology, better sales, better service in the core markets we're in now, and very rapidly rolling out to new markets in China as new markets open up in terms of internet penetration and employment opportunities. I mean, look, our business is very much about large numbers of job seekers, large numbers of advertisers, very much a mass market type business. So for the most part, that's all very positive. And in some cases, there's an imbalance between supply and demand. In some cases, there's too many jobs and too few job seekers that have got the right experience. In other cases, it's the other way around. But that's really part of the process, and that's what our job's about, trying to make that work.
So how similar are the challenges in Australia and in China?
There's clearly some challenges that are fairly unique to the Chinese market, and some of those we're insulated by our local management team that is very familiar with and is mostly born and bred in China. So we're insulated to some extent relative to companies that are operating at 100% level with their own management teams. But for the most part, the challenges have been very refreshingly, surprisingly similar. So we think the success for us in China is going to be about getting the strategy right, getting the execution right in terms of selling better than our competitors, marketing better than our competitors, providing better service, providing better products and technology. So we really feel that that's very much the 80% for us. There are some unique challenges in China that come from just how quickly the market is developing and how fast the growth is, and just how dynamic some aspects of the market are. But to some extent, they're similar to the challenges we face in Australia in the internet space in particular. So they're not completely unfamiliar challenges for us. There's some differences in the Chinese market. So some of the differences come from things like rather than credit card payments, people need to go out and knock on doors and collect the money. There's other challenges around the fact that internet penetration is a relatively new phenomenon, but people don't have landlines very often. They've got mobile phones and a range of things that have caused us to. I'm not giving very good examples that have caused us to very much adapt the strategy that we've applied in Australia and do things very differently in China. But they're more operational rather than at the high strategic level. 2001 was a very different feeling to 2005, and I'm not sure whether that was just our experiences or whether things have changed quite rapidly in China. But the first time we went, it felt very hard in terms of the connections issue. It felt that was very critical to running the business correctly. And I met a whole lot of people, particularly government officials and others, who assured me that the only way I could do business effectively in China was by working with them taking considerable shares. So the good news when I got back from those trips was we had plenty of fantastic partners for the business. The bad news, I would have had to give away sort of 800% of the business to get there, and it felt like something for the producers. So it felt too hard at that point. Again, we're probably a little bit insulated this time around by a management team that does have a degree of connections and understands the way the Chinese market works. But it doesn't feel that important anymore, and we have a specific product which is very much mass market. It's about getting out to individual consumers and having millions of Chinese look at the website and large numbers of advertisers. So our business doesn't depend on one or two key government relationships, for example, where connections would obviously be more important in those sorts of businesses. But really, it hasn't been a big issue for us for the most part, and we feel, as I mentioned before, that the challenges are very, very familiar rather than being very unique. Would never have gone into China, and the market is too different, and the differences in the culture and the need to understand that are such that we would never have envisaged going to China at the 100% level and trying to run the business ourselves. There's no doubt we feel that we would have been beaten very soundly by the local Chinese management case in those cases, and the advantage that we brought would have been more than lost against the advantage that the Chinese management team brought. So our model was very much to say, let's take a Chinese management team that is going very well anyway, and will probably be successful without us. Let's convince them that we can add value to what they're doing by supporting them and helping them and being a good partner and all the rest of it. And that's the best model for us. So for us, a lot of the adaptation, a lot of the need to recognise the local culture and manage those issues has very much been done for us by the Chinese management team, and we trust them very much to do that. We're more sharing the experiences that are similar, bringing some of the strategy that have application in China and helping them through that.